We're back, baby. Episode 18, Backyard Brawl. Starting off this week strong. We've got a Sixers update, Flyers update, and Phillies are back in action. Only one game, though, but it was a good win. So, starting off, huge game for the Sixers tonight. They are in Charlotte, 6 o'clock. Um, KO, Kelly Oubre looks like he is back. Joel Embiid is not on the injury report. Paul George, I would hope, is not on the injury report. He is not, so he will be good to go. And a potential of Tyrese Maxey being back in the lineup. He's listed as questionable. The Sixers' tendencies is usually that when they upgrade guys, they play, at least with Joel. Like when Joel goes from doubtful to questionable, he's going to play. So, yeah, but this game is huge. Charlotte has been the hottest team coming out of the All-Star break, and even a little bit before the All-Star break. They've won seven straight at home, so it's going to be a playoff environment tonight. But going back to the game on, I believe it was Wednesday. They played Wednesday against Chicago. One of the most fun games of the year. Joel was dominant. PG took over in the fourth quarter. That was great to see. VJ was quietly awesome. But that's what this team needs. I mean, VJ's got to be great as a ball handler when Tyrese is not in the game. They need PG to be a shot maker, and Joel's just Joel. He's got to keep dominating. It's what he's done for the most part all year since he's gotten comfortable. I want
Now
to
I
get your
saw it was yeah, I saw well first of all, I saw it was the most points we scored since
like
1970,
nine, yeah,
something like that. Yeah,
157
which is
points.
kind of hard to believe, especially in today's NBA. I feel like I don't know if it's just my mind going. I feel like I remember the Sixers scoring close to that a few games, but I can't remember. As far as the Paul George thing goes, I mean, some of the points were in garbage time in the fourth quarter when they're up by like 20, 30 points. He says he wants to play all 10 games remaining on the rest of the season.
And he
How do
should.
you
He should. No
like, he
reason not
should.
to.
No
No
reason
reason
not
not to.
to. Um, but it seems like even without Maxi, the starting four, starting three clicked
Great. Great.
without any problems whatsoever. I
hmm
mean, that's not a great Chicago team. I think tonight is the real test
Well, that's
to
a
see
team
how
that
they
beat you.
play.
That's a team that beat you twice already in the regular season. So you had to
Yeah, but
get
weren't
that one.
both without Joel?
No, Joel played in the first one. He was good. They were up by a lot in Chicago. It was their first loss of the year, I'm pretty sure.
Mhm.
They were up by a lot, and they kind of blew the game. And then they had another game in Chicago that they were also up by double digits in the fourth quarter, and they blew that one too. But
Gotcha.
it's a different Bulls team. Kobe White's not there. Vooch is not there anymore. But yeah, I mean, it was great to see Paul George. Listen, whether it was garbage time or not, it was Paul George type of
Yeah,
basketball,
yeah.
isolating, shooting over the top of guys. That's what the Sixers are going to need. They're going to need those kind of sorts of baskets come playoff time. But that's kind of the Sixers recap. I want to pass it to you on the Flyers. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, they're still last in the Metropolitan. I mean, it's, a tough division to be in.
Well, they're not last, but they're at the
I thought they
bottom of
were
that
last.
wild
Well,
card.
I don't know. Last I checked
No,
on
they're not in
Friday
dead
was they were
last. They're
last.
they're ahead of Washington. They're not dead last because they're ahead of the Rangers. They're ahead of Washington. They're,
Anyway, I
they're
mean,
meaning in that
they
wild
had a yeah,
in that
they're
wild
last in
card
that wild
race.
card.
Yeah. Yeah.
They had a nice win against Chicago, 5-1.
hmm
Harrison played well. Only goal allowed
Michkov had a
was
beautiful pass.
Mitch Cobb played really well. Only goal allowed was the Connor Bedard goal. Pretty sure that was his like 30th goal of
Yeah.
the season or his career or something
He's
like
he's
that.
great.
It was phenomenal. He's going to score every time. But again, it just further proves that it's completely out of their control. They play the Red Wings tonight, which is the first of three games remaining that they play against them. They're a team that's ahead of them in the wild card spot. They won the other night against who was it?
Well, they lost to Columbus. That kind of hurt.
Yeah, they lost to Columbus, but I'm pretty sure Columbus is still behind you. They beat the Sabres last night 5-2, and then they'll play them tonight at 8 o'clock. So
Yeah.
it's the story of the season every year. They come out strong at the beginning of the like that first quarter of the season, then they lose, and then they come down to the final 20 games of the season, something like that, and they try to make a push, and everything fails, and they end up being a pick from 10 to 15 in the draft, and it's not really anything there. So, make a push for playoff hockey, no point in tanking at this point in the
Yeah.
season.
I mean, I saw the other day that if they had lost to the Blackhawks, it would have dropped their playoff percentage chances to like 6. They won, and it's now at like 19. They do have some remaining games against teams that are in front of them. So if you can win those, I mean, that's 2 points that you're getting, no points that they're getting. Uh, so I mean, I would love to see them make it. I'm really pulling for them to make it now. Granted, I don't really watch because I consume so much Sixers basketball, and with March Madness right now, it's just hard to add in the Flyers. But I am really pulling for them. Um, they're an interesting case because some people like the job that Keith Jones and Danny Briere have done, other people don't. So it's definitely a, hot topic. But Philly is clearly yearning for playoff hockey.
Yeah, without a doubt. Without a doubt. I mean, you walk into the stadium, and my first game I went to was when I was very young. I was like 7 years old. So I obviously don't remember, but I remember there being a different feeling in the air
Hmm.
at the Wells Fargo Center. Now it's the Xfinity Mobile Arena, whatever you want to call it. I still call it the Wells Fargo Center, just
Yeah,
based
fairs,
off muscle
fairs.
memory. But with the Comcast ownership and after Ed Snyder passed away, there's definitely a different feeling in the
Oh, for
arena.
sure.
No one knows how the arena would have been in 2020 because the whole world was shut down. Uh, I'd imagine it would have been the same, but it just feels very corporatized in there. With the Sixers, not as much. With the past 2 years, it just feels a little dead, but not like in a corporatized way. With the Flyers, though, it's just there's not as much energy in the air, and I think
Hmm.
people are kind of sick of the same outcome we see all the time.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Well, speaking of a team that's been consistent over the past couple of years, Phillies opening day was on Thursday. Thursday was Phillies
Yeah,
opening day. Christopher Sanchez dealing. I think he went
lights
six
out.
innings, six and a third, 10
Mhm.
strikeouts. One of the top performances on opening day for a pitcher. Um, we see Kyle Schwarber go yard, not hitting in that leadoff spot, hitting second. Yo, do you want to pay attention and stop shooting your damn socks into the fucking
I
bin?
missed one. I had to make the other one.
Yeah. Well, when you shoot, how about you yell bam and then that shit'll go in. Okay. See, that's gonna be on TikTok. Uh, but yeah, I mean, Kyle Schwarber goes yard, hitting in that two spot. So we see Trey Turner get a single, and then Kyle Schwarber go yard. Maybe this is the year that Kyle Schwarber doesn't pivot into that leadoff spot. Maybe he stays in that two hole. Bryce Harper with a little bit of a rough day. I'm not going to make anything of it. It was kind of a discussion because of his offseason comments, but it's the first game. But I think the highlight, and we both agree, is Justin Crawford. I mean, I know you were a big
Yeah.
fan, so I'll let you talk
hmm
about it. But he has two hits. He made some nice plays out in center field. He had over 40 members of his family there. That was awesome to see. His dad, Carl, was there. But what were your opinions on opening day?
So I mean, a majority of the game I was listening on the radio. I got a
Hmm.
chance to watch like when I parked my car. Uh, Sanchez, obviously a Cy Young candidate, without a doubt. I mean, we see Nola today. I'll be going to the game. That's at 4:15. It's a different feeling because you get roped in every season the same way you do all the time, where it's like, okay, they play really well. Now you're super bought in. I'm not 100% bought into this team yet. I think by like the 30 game, 40 game mark is when I'm really, you know, I've fully formed my opinion on the state of this baseball team. I thought Adolis played fine. I thought Bryson Stott played phenomenal. I said he was going to get a hit. He did. So any betting, MLB props you want, come to me. Um, but I think pitching is what's going to take this team far at the end of the day. I mean, you
Yeah,
have you have a majority of your guys through 2031. You've got Luzardo through 2031. You've got Sanchez. You've got Painter, depending on how he plays. I think he makes his debut against the Nationals, if I'm correct.
yeah.
But
The whole
I
NL
think it,
East won. First time
yeah.
ever in MLB history.
hmm
A whole division is 1-0. So that was pretty interesting to see. Yeah,
But
I mean, I
I
don't.
don't have a full opinion on this team yet. It's
Yeah,
one
it's
game.
so early.
It's
It's
one
so
game.
early.
You can be
Yeah.
excited. Like I'm not going to sit here. It's not like how they do it on WIP or the Fanatic. Where they're like, I think they're going to win 96 games this season. I don't.
I don't know.
It's too early to tell. I have no idea. I think they'll be a 90 win team. I'm not going to get my hopes up. There's still that middle of the season stretch in the summer where they play absolutely dog shit, and everyone starts complaining and switching their opinions. So we'll see. But I think it's way too early to make a prediction on this baseball team. We're fun. It was a great game to watch. I mean, they
Yeah.
got to Uvalde, one of the best pitchers in the league.
Hmm.
So,
Yeah.
and as far as Crawford, though, I think he's going to be great.
Yeah.
I think
So
he's
do
going
I.
to be. Jimmy
So do
Rollins
I.
spoke very highly of him. Um, you no longer have to platoon anymore.
Hmm.
So I'm excited.
Yeah, I'd agree. Um, with it being Philly's opening day, It's just one game, so there's not much to discuss. However, being a team in Philadelphia, there is always something going on in the background. And we have multiple different situations that we're going to bring up and discuss. Shai's going to lead us off discussing the Alec Bohm situation involving his parents. Take it away.
Yeah. So Phillies third baseman Alec Bohm is suing his parents over allegations that they defrauded him out of millions of dollars while managing his finances, according to Nick Badala of the Philadelphia Inquirer. The lawsuit was reportedly filed Wednesday in the Philadelphia Court of Common Pleas, one day before Bohm and the Phillies began their season with a 5-3 win over the Rangers.
And with all that
In
going
the
on, he hits a home run.
Yeah, I mean,
So,
he played great too. Could you imagine? I mean, it seems like it happens every year with a player or two where they're suing their parents or something comes out where their parents defrauded them over a certain amount of money. I get it. Me personally, if I was in the position that Alec Bohm was in, where I'm making millions of dollars a year, I wouldn't want anyone in my family handling my money. I would give it to an accountant. I would give it
interesting.
to a financial advisor. And I would only, I mean, I know my spending habits. I would be like, only allow me to have a certain amount of money a year. I know that's what Barry Bonds did. Barry Bonds was only allowed 20K a month in his account or something. And anytime anybody would ask him for money, he would be like, you got to talk to the team and you got to talk to my advisor. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't think it's smart. I don't think it's smart for players like this because money is the root of all evil, people say. And I don't know if that, I don't think that's entirely true, but I mean, what would you do if you found out your parents? Like, are you suing?
well,
Like, I don't
I
know
think
if
in
I
the
would, I don't know if I could sue my own parents.
I mean, you said that you wouldn't have family members kind of handling your money. I feel like I've built the level of trust with my parents because they're already right now they handle my money. So, I mean, I feel like I've built a level of trust with them. I don't think that my parents would do something like that. And
Neither do I, but
I
in the
probably would do the
situation,
same. I probably would do the same thing that, you know, my dad, my mom, they are very smart and educated people. I don't know if that's the case with Alec Bohm's parents. I don't know them personally. I know that your mom, your grandparents are very smart,
yeah,
educated people.
yeah.
I don't know if that's the case for Alec Bohm, but I would trust my parents to act in the best interest, and I would trust them that if they were in a situation where they needed finances, they would come to me if I had that level of wealth. But it's just a crazy situation that like you live a whole life forming a bond with your kid and then you snake them and do something like that. Now, I did see somewhere, I don't know if this is in the article. I did see somewhere that his parents said that it was not true and they were upset, with the
Yeah,
situation.
it's gonna end up being a big legal battle. They're gonna plead
Right, which
probably
is
not guilty.
unfortunate. And
Yeah.
I hope there's been situations where players have had to go through this kind of stuff in the middle of a season, and I hope
Mhm.
that it doesn't affect his play because he's basically probably on his last year with the Phillies already. He's in a love-hate relationship with the fan base. I mean, this could end up, being a situation where the fan base rallies around Alec Bohm and he plays great, or they turn on him and it goes to shit and people are making fun of him and it could be a shame. So I
Well,
it's a
if you were Alec Bohm, would you sue your parents
I mean,
in this
sue my
situation?
parents. I mean, I would probably go to them first and be like, give me the
What the
money back.
fuck? Yeah, yeah.
Give me the money back and let's work this out. And if they said, no, we're not giving the money back, we didn't do anything wrong, and the only avenue that I have is to sue, then yeah, I mean, that would probably be the case that
Well,
I would have to go that way.
apparently the money's not there anymore.
Yeah,
Neither
they probably
side has
spent
it.
it.
They spent
Yeah.
it. They spent it on paying off, I guess, whatever. They
Then
didn't
yeah,
really go fully into detail, but
I probably would
as far
sue.
as the lawsuit goes, it reportedly says the situation came to a head in January when Bohm asked his parents to provide him information about his holdings, including account statements and login information. His parents allegedly responded by lawyering up. So I feel like
This is
that's a
going to be
guilty
a
move right there. It's just going to
this is
be
going to
like a
be a
year-long
battle.
battle.
It's going to be a
Allegedly, they
battle.
have since indicated they were billing Bohm for management of his affairs at a rate of $50 per hour per Nebraska Public Media. They previously owned a title insurance business. So, I mean, 50 an hour definitely adds up as well. But I think the fact that they lawyered up immediately and didn't make any statements is
It's not good.
Yeah, it's not great. And then it goes on to say in the lawsuit, Bohm reportedly alleges that his parents, Daniel and Lisa Bohm, used a series of limited liability companies, LLCs, to funnel money out of his personal accounts, which they then converted to their own use. Bohm is reportedly seeking a judgment of at least $3 million and among other relief and accounting of the funds in question. So it's at least 3 million. We don't know
Yeah.
how much it really is.
I hope this gets worked out, and I hope it doesn't, break up a family relationship. It seems like
Well,
that's
it's
the path
gonna
that, yeah, it seems
yeah,
like
it's
that's the
gonna.
path that it's going down. Uh, but I mean, speaking of family, staying within the Phillies continue to snake the Callis family.
Yeah,
So Harry Callis is about as big of a Phillies legend as you can find. I mean, you see the way that the Dodgers prop up Vin Scully. That is the perfect example of what you should do with a voice of your team. That is the best way to describe it. Vin Scully was the voice of the Dodgers. Harry Callis was the voice of the Phillies. Um, but as we discussed last week, we're not going to get into this situation. But they changed that Harry the K's to the Ghost Energy deck, which I think is out in left field. It's out in left
yeah,
field,
yeah,
right above the first section of fans. So Harry the K's legendary spot, and they changed it to Ghost Energy deck. They probably got a deal with Ghost Energy, and they made a nice payout. Now, this week, just on opening day, it comes out that the Phillies have been paying Harry Callis's wife. I'm gonna find her name. They've been paying Harry Callis's wife $20,000 each year, basically to support her. Um, Eileen Callis is her name. They've been paying her $20,000 each year. It's a nice gesture by the Phillies. However, they said that they are stopping those payments. However, they said to honor Harry's name, they still want to play the version of him singing High Hopes after they win the game, which is ridiculous. And good for Eileen Callis. She said, if you don't pay me, you don't have the rights to him singing. Which my
yeah,
mom had said, well, High Hopes is not Harry Callis' song, but it's a version of him singing. So she can
yeah.
make that executive decision to say you can't play the song. I just think it's ridiculous. I mean, your legacy as an organization is the people that come before you, the legends in your franchise, and they're treating the legends that they have like shit. They're
Yeah.
treating them like shit. So I don't agree with it. I think that they should continue to make the gestures that they've been making for years. I Again, the Ghost Energy deck is not getting changed back, but I think it's a mistake. Um, I'll pass it to you, but I think it's ridiculous.
It started with the analog clock in center field that they were getting rid of. I personally wasn't upset about it. It's whatever, it's a clock. But I did say that it was going to spiral and, into a big snowball effect and become, a series of events where you're getting rid of historical pieces in the stadium. It's going to become more corporatized. And this is exactly what's happening. We no
Hmm.
longer have the Harry the K's. We might not have high hopes at the end of the game. They got rid of the analog clock. Um, what
Out
else?
of
I
town
mean,
scoreboard.
the out of town scoreboard is gone, which people were very, very upset about. It's just going to be a bunch of advertisements. They also, on the left field wall, apparently made the advertisements shorter to fit more advertisements.
Yeah.
Um, it's just going to keep happening. With the amount of money these players are being paid every year, it's only increasing. TV deals only make so much money. But the Phillies are the sixth or seventh most expensive franchise in baseball. To say that they need even more money is
And they don't
it's
spend
a
the money
little
that they
questionable. They
have.
don't spend anyways
So
on different players. So
just
it's all just,
pocketing our cash.
it's greed. It's all just greed. And there was a clip of Dave Dombrowski, or not Dave Dombrowski, John Middleton. I think it was like at a banquet. I don't know how recent the clip was. It had to be of the last year and a half, but it resurfaced on Twitter of him explaining why he got rid of the analog clock in center field. He's like, nobody really even cares anymore. People could check their phones. What's the point? Which I mean, I guess there's some reason there, but it just shows the lack of care, especially from an owner like John Middleton, who's so beloved about history and the history of the stadium and different, I guess you could say artifacts around the concourse. I mean, who knows? They could go out and get rid of Ashburn Alley soon. We don't know. We don't
Yeah.
know, and name it fucking Primo's Place, like whatever that.
Yeah.
Who
Yeah.
knows?
Yeah.
Who knows? It's just a
Yeah.
step in the wrong direction,
I agree.
and nothing's going to change.
I agree. Yeah. Hopefully none of this stuff happens in the future. One thing that I know will not be happening in the future is a 13-year-old prospect that the Phillies had internationally got busted for PEDs. The Phillies terminated his contract. We're not going to speak on this for long, but I mean, it just came out. What are you doing? I don't know. I don't know. I don't really have thoughts. It's just kind of
Yeah, I
like,
didn't really pay much attention to it.
what
It's
are you
just kind of
doing?
funny. It's the
Yeah.
third guy to be popped for PEDs in this
Fourth,
organization.
fourth, because
Oh yeah,
Max
yeah,
Kepler, who's
Kepler
not
and,
with the
and
team, but
Rojas.
I mean
Yeah,
that was
yeah.
probably. It's just I don't know. Like you see all the other ones, like the Alvarados, the Rojas, the Keplers, and then you get 13-year-old kid who the Phillies signed. It's just like, come on, man, come on.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah. So that's what we had on the Phillies. Across the streets, over at Lincoln Financial Field, there's been some discussion about a potential new stadium. This has been going on for a little bit. A lot of teams around the league. I mean, you know, the LA teams just built their stadium a couple years ago. The Bills have a big stadium project coming up. The Commanders have Trump Field, or so he wants it to be called, or he wants it to be named after, I don't
No,
know,
RFK
or
Stadium.
yeah,
Yeah.
something. Um, uh, the uh, the Raiders, Chargers, Rams, Bills, Commanders, they've all got stadium projects going on. So the Eagles could be
Titans,
joining that group. Yeah,
Jacksonville, Titans, all of them.
yeah, all of it. It's
Everybody.
it's going around the
Yeah. And
league.
they all look the same, by the way. They all look
Yeah,
the same.
they're all trying to copy the SoFi model, which, by the way,
Uh-huh.
SoFi is beautiful.
It's
It's
cool, but when every
phenomenal.
stadium looks the same, it's no longer special. The
That is
only the
true.
only the only cool one is now the Bills one, which is still an outdoor stadium, which I'm all for. I'm not of the belief that I think every team should be playing in a dome.
In a dome. Yeah,
I think
weather
every
is a
team
part of
should have
the
their
weather.
own, yeah.
Weather's a part of the game. It is.
Mhm.
So I would hope that the Eagles, if they do decide to make a change or a move, now you know more about this than me. They might be making a move, but I would just hope that they do not get a dome. That would be my only hope.
Well, this is the title of the article on Talk Sports. Future of Eagle Stadium in doubt after $7.6 billion owner weighs on unpopular decision that no one's asking for. No one, I mean, I don't want them to move. I don't want them to build a new stadium. I shouldn't say I wouldn't want them to build a new stadium. I'll rephrase it. I don't want them to build an indoor stadium.
Hmm. I agree.
The other hand, I wouldn't want them to move. Like there were talks that they could move on the other side of the pond into South Jersey. It would be closer for us. It'd be beneficial. We don't have to go over the bridge. Is it really a big deal to go over the bridge? No,
Nope.
it takes like 25 minutes to get there regardless. Do I want them in Camden? Absolutely not. I know the Sixers talked about that. There's potential of them moving outside of the city of Philadelphia in like the Conshohocken area, possibly. That would really suck because it would take probably, with traffic about an hour to get into the game or to get into a parking spot because you got to go up to Schuylkill. But in the article, it explained how the Eagles are evaluating changes for their home field, both in terms of renovation options and even the possibility of a brand new stadium. The Athletic Zach Berman believes the email was a clear signal amid murmurs of stadium uncertainty that will only grow louder in years to come. The Eagles' current lease for Lincoln Financial Field runs through 2032, so about, 7 years remaining or something like that. But this is around the time of when you have to start like building these things up and discussing these things. I know they sent out an email to season ticket holders last season or something like that, kind of putting it out there saying like if we were to build a new stadium, if we were to renovate, what kind of changes would you want to see? And obviously one of those changes would be a dome. And I think I am of the belief, I think you're of the belief, I think a lot of fans of the organization are of the belief that a dome would be,
A
you
bad idea.
know, a really bad idea and would kind of sell out. It's
Hmm.
it's a it's a cop out to, bring March Madness here, bring the Super Bowl here, bring Olympic events here or something like that, which would be cool and very beneficial to the city. But at the end of the day, and Jeffrey Lurie hasn't, answered this question yet, who's going to be paying for it? And chances are it's going to be the taxpayers, and no one wants that. And especially if you build a dome, ticket prices are going to go way up. They're going to skyrocket.
Hmm.
They're going to shoot up. So I football is one of the sports where each team has their own advantages at their stadium. Bills, it's freezing. They're used to it. Miami, the away side is right in the sun. Uh, Seattle is built in a way where they do have a dome, but they never close it. It's extremely loud in there. But a place like SoFi or a place like Allegiant Stadium is not hard to play. Now there are, upsides to it. Like all players are at their best. You're getting, hopefully the best performance from every player on the field.
The option to host the Super Bowl.
The option to host Super Bowls, but would you really care if the Super Bowl was here?
Yeah, I think
Would
it would
you
be
really
cool.
care? I wouldn't give a shit. I
I
mean,
think it would be cool.
I'm watching at home either way. So,
I mean, yeah, but I'm
like
just
they
saying,
hosted
like,
WrestleMania here, that was awesome. But
I think bringing events that's why you do it in a dome. You have the idea that you can bring events into that um venue. I just think moving would be stupid. I mean, for the people of Philadelphia, having a stadium district where all your teams literally play in the same vicinity of each other, I think it's very easy on the people of, whether you're out in further out in PA, whether you're in South Jersey, whether you're in the city, it's just easy. It works
now,
well. So
would you be more upset if they built a dome or if they relocated to a different area?
relocated.
Hmm.
If they listen, if they build a dome, it is what it is. The stadium would probably have upgrades. It would probably be nicer. I wouldn't love it, but if they relocated and made it and like I wouldn't know how to interact with the stadium district without having all the teams there. They would literally just be an empty lot. Like how
Yeah.
I don't think I would like that.
I think I
if
would
it
be
ha
more upset about a dome because no one's asking for that. Nobody wants that at
yeah,
all.
but
Like if
relocating is a pain to us. It's a pain to us. Does a dome make your life more difficult? No. Relocating makes your
no,
life
but
more
it
difficult.
just it takes away the feeling of, being at an Eagles game, I think.
Yeah, but I think if you're not in that environment that like I mean, isn't part of it like come out of the Eagles game, they just won a big game, people are packing into Xfinity Live, people are spreading out to different lots all over the place. I mean, if you move, like I don't think you have
I mean,
that
I
feel.
was against, to your point of, all the stadiums being in the same general area. I think that's great. You don't see it as often anymore. But if I were to look at a huge dome compared to the rest of them, I'd be a little upset, you
Yeah,
know?
I mean, I would too, but
Feels very corporate
I think
and very
relocating
boring.
and I don't end up in that environment that much. Like, I think that would suck. I mean, maybe I don't want them to move it to South Jersey. I've never been a
No,
fan. I've never been a fan of the Giants and Jets not playing actually in New York.
I mean, the
I
Bears
don't
are about to
like,
be in Indiana.
yeah, I don't like that at all. I think you play um, where your city name is. So
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to do it at all. Maybe at some point they renovate the stadium to make it a little better. Maybe they don't. I mean, Lambeau is old as shit. Soldier
Yeah.
Field, old as shit. The Bears are about to make a move, but yeah. I
I
mean,
wouldn't be against renovation. I just don't think there's any point in building a new stadium. The Link was built in what? Oh two, oh
yeah,
three?
it's not old.
No.
It's not old. I don't think much is going to happen. I think the feedback they're going to get is mostly going to be pretty negative. So I think that
And
they're going
Jeffrey
to.
Lurie is one of those guys who listens to the fan
Yeah,
base.
he's a good owner. He's not
Yeah.
Josh Harris, who's a piece of shit.
Hmm.
And he's in the Epstein files. But
Yeah.
yeah, tonight we've got the Elite Eight pivoting. We're in now the segment that when we plan out, we segment it as the bullshit segment, where we talk about basically whatever we feel like. But we got the Elite Eight tonight. We've got Iowa versus shit, Iowa, Illinois, and then we've got Arizona, uh,
I haven't
somebody,
been paying attention. I don't know.
Arizona
I can tell you. Hold
versus
on.
somebody. They Arizona Purdue. Arizona Purdue. Give me Arizona, give me Illinois. And then tomorrow night we've got Duke, UConn. Give me UConn. Give me UConn. And then
Okay. I mean, I have UConn
Michigan.
winning in my one bracket, so I'm gonna pick UConn every time.
Yeah. And then Michigan versus Tennessee. That's a good game. I actually that is a good game, but give me Michigan. And I've got Arizona winning it all. I had Houston, but I'll pivot to Arizona. I did say Houston or Arizona. I don't make a bracket, but
But you've always been a
I
big Houston fan, it seems like.
yeah, I love Houston style of basketball. But for some reason, I mean, they go cold offensively in the tournament. People are saying is last. Are they like a um like what's a good sports example? Like possibly the Bengals in football. Like did they miss their one opportunity when they got there? You
Hmm.
know, they were up by 10 against the Rams and they blew it. Houston last year, national championship, up double digits in the second half. They lose. Did they blow it? I mean, who knows? But Kelvin Sampson's a
Yeah.
phenomenal coach. I love their style of basketball. I think they were a talented team. Uh, but yeah, I think Arizona's got it. What
On
about
the
you?
other hand, you got Hubert Davis is out of
Yeah,
UNC,
yeah, and that search
which
is going to be
wasn't a shock
crazy.
to anybody. He should have been fired last year, they think, another first round exit. But
That search is going to be crazy because at
mm,
those schools, similar to Syracuse, who just hired Jerry McNamara, the pipeline, like when you have a successful coach, Syracuse had Jim Boeheim, Duke had Mike Krzyzewski, North Carolina had Roy Williams and Dean Smith. When you have that, you create these pipelines of assistant coaches, and then it becomes a conversation of which one do you bring back to lead the team. Uh,
wasn't Syracuse looking to hire the old West Virginia coach? What's his
no,
name?
the USF coach,
No, who was West Virginia's old coach?
Bob Huggins.
Bob Huggins. I saw
I
something where
didn't.
Syracuse was looking to
Oh,
hire Bob Huggins as well.
I think that probably didn't have much traction to it. But they hired
I
Jerry
just remember seeing
McNamara.
something about it.
I've seen some mixed thoughts on how that's going to go. But I've seen North Carolina. A name that I've seen mentioned a lot is Kenny Smith from the
Really?
TNT crew. Yeah, people. I mean, he runs AAU programs. He's definitely a basketball. He's a through and through a basketball guy. But I think they're going to go in the direction of hiring a. I think they'll get a big hire from another school. I think that would be my best guess.
Now, St. John's fell to Duke last night. You think it's the end of the road for Patino?
No, 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 no. I think he back. I think he's back. I think he loves basketball. They were right there, man. They were up by double
Mhm.
digits in the second half, but Duke is just. I mean, a lot of people say Duke gets a lot of calls, and I believe that they do, and it helps them to slow the game down. Cam Boozer shoots a lot of free throws, but credit to Caleb Foster, who came back from an injury, battled through, played a great second half. John
Yeah.
Shire was emotional in his post game speaking about it, and that's what March is about. I mean, getting guys to play through injuries. The pain of losing in March, you see it every year, guys getting emotional on the court. But I mean, that's what makes the experience great. I mean, you see all the emotions uh, of what goes on. But yeah, who do you have winning the whole
I
thing?
have UConn winning the whole thing. I would like to
Okay,
see Hurley win his third,
okay,
possibly spark another back-to-back championship next year.
yeah,
Already one of the greatest coaches in college basketball, probably in my opinion.
for sure.
Um, so yeah, I mean, I really don't have much input on college basketball. I don't watch as much as you do. I never grew up with a team, but
You
just
watch
based off
March
my
though.
bracket. Yeah, I do watch March. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. And I'll watch Temple if they're on, national television, but
yeah.
which isn't often, but when they are, I do watch.
No, they are sometimes. Sometimes. Um, yeah, I mean that's kind of March. I mean, I'll tune into the women's game. I don't know who won last night between LSU and Duke. That was an interesting matchup. LSU is always, you know, topic of
Mhm.
conversation
Well,
with Kim
speaking
Mulkey.
speaking of women's
LSU
basketball,
lost. Wow. LSU went down to
really,
Duke. Yeah.
speaking of women's basketball, the WNBA, didn't they? I spoke about
They
it on the
reached
radio on my
a
radio show. They reached a
reached a
huge agreement,
yeah.
basically, with it ups their pay, it ups TV deals. We're going to see them more and more on TV. It does open the door though for a lot of these gambling companies that are going to partner with them, and a lot of WNBA players don't handle public criticism very well. Just wait about a year for a story to come out about DMing WNBA players. It's going to happen. It's going to
Yeah, I
happen.
mean, I think
And
good
they
for,
need to be able
listen,
to listen. I'm not saying it's the right thing to do. It's a completely wrong thing to message any pro athlete who sold your parlay. They don't give a fuck. I think the death threats are cowardly. It's a loser. It's a loser mentality. But they need to be open to this type of criticism now at this point. I'm not saying it's right, but you know, if you want to be paid this much money and you want to be this famous and be paid attention to like you want to, you just have to take the punches. You have
yeah,
to
I
take
don't
the
know.
punches.
I don't I've read into the CBA a little bit. I don't, I don't keep up with any of the betting stuff and what's going to happen. What I do know about this CBA is that it raises the salary by a lot. Which is listen, I don't have a problem with them getting paid what they're going to get paid. With the expansion and more teams coming in, that's more revenue for the league. Uh, but one of the issues that I somewhat have is that they are supported by the NBA, and I genuinely over the years I've gotten more invested into the WNBA. I just hope that they are able to support the amount that they are going to get. Because when I watch March Madness and I watch some of these better teams and I watch the games of the women that are going to potentially get drafted, I sometimes don't believe that the talent is all the way there to support this. And you bring in expansion teams, if they're really bad and the market then isn't there. Like, listen, when Philly comes in, Philly's going to generate money. I mean, you saw what Philly did when the Unrivaled came. But I
Mhm.
think some of the cities that they're going to, if the team isn't great and the revenue's not coming in, if they're only generating revenue from the teams that have the great players, I think that financially they could run into some issues down the road. But for the time being, if they have a plan that is in place, I am more than happy and very glad that these women are getting paid what they deserve because they are talented. I'm not saying that they're not, but I'm saying that I just hope that they can support this change while going adding expansion teams and the whole 9 yards.
I don't know. I mean, I do agree with you on the point that they should be paid a little more, but where's the money coming from is the question at the end of the
Yeah, I mean
day. Is
it's
the
being
money going to be there?
it's
Is it
being
going to
supported
even
by
be
the
there?
NBA.
Yeah.
I mean, I hope that it doesn't get to the point where the NBA is like, this is not a profitable option for you and for us, and then they pull the plug and then the league is going to fall apart. But I think that
Yeah.
them having the Unrivaled is certainly helping because Unrivaled is bringing a lot of eyes to the game. Unrivaled is a genius concept. If you don't know, it's basically they play 3-on-3 full court. I think it's genius because when you really get down to the nitty gritty of basketball, basketball is a 3-on-3 game. I mean, a lot of the stuff that you run is two to a side and then the ball handler. That's playing 3-on-3. So I think that it's a genius thing, and I think the women's game growing is only great. It's only a great thing for the space of basketball overall.
Now you brought up the idea of expansion, which is going to happen in the WNBA. It's also going to
Happening
happen
in
in
the
the
NBA.
NBA. What are your thoughts on that? Because I just think it's a horrible idea.
I mean, I think, the biggest, I said this to you the other day, the biggest thing is what team from the West gets to move over to the East. I think likely it's going to be either Minnesota or Memphis. Those are the two options. And that team gets a break because the West is better than the East right now. That's a
Mhm.
simple fact. Uh, so yeah, I mean, expansion, bringing a team to Seattle, I like. I like. You weren't going to get the Thunder, especially now with the success they're having. You weren't getting the Thunder to go back there.
No,
Where's the other team going? Vegas?
Vegas.
That's a money grab. That's a money grab to me.
No, yeah.
Uh,
Now it doesn't say that team's not going to end up being good because we saw with the Vegas Golden Knights, they ended up being pretty good.
yeah, I mean, I'm not
And
saying that it's
they went
bad,
to the
but
Stanley Cup, I think, in their second year of
yeah, and I think doing an
existing.
expansion draft is going to be cool. I mean, I will definitely be super interested. The way that that works is you can protect a certain amount of players on your roster, and then everybody else is basically
Yeah.
open to get picked to the expansion team. Where the expansion teams enter into their first draft is super important. I'm sure that they will be in the lottery odds. Uh, it's an interesting concept, but I mean,
It's just how
listen,
can
there,
you add two more teams when, a quarter of the league is actively tanking this season and are going
yeah,
to continue to tank?
it's a money thing. Everything is a money thing. Nobody
Yeah.
cares about the
Yeah.
integrity of the game anymore.
Yeah.
Everything that you do is for the sake of money. I mean,
Yeah.
it's a regurgitated argument that we have on this show, and it's frustrating as, grassroots sports fans. I mean, we care about the game. We care
Yeah.
about the teams that we love, but unfortunately, money is, like you said earlier, money is the root of all evil. People need money. So, I mean,
Yeah.
can you
Yeah.
really blame them for doing this? No, but what are their intentions in doing it? But I like the prospect of Seattle. Vegas to me seems a little bit like a profit thing, but they could be good. We don't
Yeah.
know. I mean, we just don't.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
I
mean, I
mean,
guess that concludes the show.
no, well, I just briefly want to touch on the World
Oh.
Cup because it's coming
Oh,
up
yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
very soon. Rosters are starting to come out for early camps, but again, a money thing, corporate things. First off, we have that the World Cup will be doing hydration breaks, which I don't have a problem with hydration breaks. It's going to be a hot summer. Um, but FIFA hydration breaks are actually stated to only be 30 seconds. They're 30-second long. It's like in any sport. You run over, get a drink, back on the field. However, this World Cup, hydration breaks will be 3 minutes. so the World Cup games can do advertisements on the broadcast, which again, it's horseshit. Soccer is meant to be a game where you play 45
Yeah.
minutes, you get a long halftime, you play another 45 minutes. Like that's how hockey
Now
is.
who's
Or that's how
broadcasting the World
soccer is.
Cup?
Sorry, that's how soccer is. Uh I believe probably Fox. That's I think who did the last one. Fox, FS1,
Okay.
um, those series of networks. So I think it's horseshit. I mean, it's a money thing. We've repeated
Yeah,
that.
it was 64 degrees in Boston or in Foxborough the other
Yeah,
day,
they
and they
were
did a three
testing
minute
it.
commercial break.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they were testing it out. Players were confused. Players didn't understand. So, I mean, it's ridiculous. And they, listen, they didn't do this in the Qatar World Cup, which Qatar is way, way, way hotter. I mean, that's why Qatar had to do it in November and not the summer, because
Mhm.
summers in Qatar are literally way too hot.
Yeah.
It's a money thing. And then also, we're not going to, we say repeatedly on the show, we do not get into politics. However, I believe that this is an important thing to bring up because, again, it's a money thing. But President Trump said that five different countries, they're looking into the option of five different countries having to pay $15,000 just to come, citizens of those countries, just to come into the country to watch the World Cup. They're demanding that Algeria, Senegal, Cape Verde, Ivory Coast, and Tunisia each pay a $15,000 deposit if they want to attend the 2026 World Cup. Again, not getting into the politics, you can uh, probably infer what the reasoning behind why they want to do this is. But I mean, the
I
World
mean, I
Cup is
don't
a.
think it's a genuine, I don't think it's a bad idea. I mean, they don't have the money anyways.
I just think
Chances are.
The World Cup is a. I wouldn't say that. I mean,
I mean, I mean,
there's wealth in every country, but I think the World Cup being one of the major globalized events, period, in the world, I don't think it's fair to prohibit people from coming to their country. I think it should be something that, the World Cup is a every 4 years event. In your lifetime, you see, if you're fortunate to reach 100 years old, you see 25 World Cups. Limit that number down to probably somewhere between 18 of when you're actually aware of what is going on and you're actually able to get there. I mean, that's not that many. So I just
yeah.
think that you should have the freedom to come into our country and experience a great event. I think the U.S. is going to do a great job of putting on experiences and other things to go along with the soccer matches. I just hope that we're welcoming to the people that come here. I think because other countries do that for us. So
Well, only two of the countries even are on either a partially restricted travel ban list or just flat out banned. So that's
yeah,
another
but I think
I mean, it's
this isn't. I mean, I don't know why you picked Ivory Coast. That's like Ireland, right? Yeah, like I
Ivory
don't.
Coast.
I think
No, that's in
Ivory Coast
Africa.
is. Oh, the Ivory Coast though. Oh, they have a similar flag to Ireland. I'm
Yeah,
pretty
that's
sure.
what I thought. No, the Ivory Coast is in Africa.
Um, yeah, I mean, that's all I really have to say on that. I don't want to get
Yeah.
too deep, but yeah, that's that. I just wanted to get that in because the World Cup is going to be awesome. I know we'll
Yeah.
be out there in Philly, even though the
Mhm.
U.S. isn't playing. We'll be getting together to watch the U.S. But yeah, the World Cup is exciting, and it being here is cool. It was also nice, speaking of events in Philly, last kind of thing before we wrap up. But did you like the All-Star patch on the Phillies hats and jerseys? I thought that was cool.
I thought it was sick.
Yeah,
I
I
thought it
thought
was
that was
great.
cool.
I also like the opening first pitch thing they had. They had four All-Stars,
Yeah,
four
that was
past
cool.
All-Stars, Ricky Metallica, Larry Boa, forget who else, but two
Yeah.
other guys who threw the opening pitch.
That's what I'm saying though earlier about the legacies thing. Keep the legacies. Do Eileen Callis right. Do that family right.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, thank you for tuning in. We will get this episode out later. Really tap into our TikTok. The TikTok has been doing well. That's back. It's the Backyard Brawl on TikTok. We've been doing well over there. The YouTube videos are starting to do a little bit better. We're gaining a few more subscribers. We're almost at 30 subs. Shout out. But yeah, keep tapping in. We love seeing you guys interact with our videos and supporting us. So we'll be back next week. Big one for the Sixers tonight. Let's get it done.
Yep. Peace.
Peace.